Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to OGLSimRacing's preseason review of the 2014 season. I'm Florian, and with me this season is Dave on commentary.
Good evening, Flo. And we're here in Zandvoort for the final pre-season test of the OGLSimRacing season, which is about to kick off in a few weeks' time. So the guys are just getting familiar with their cars with just under an hour left of pre-season. So me and Flo are here to guide you through what to expect in the new season with the new rules and regulations, teams, drivers and calendar, all the usual stuff. It's not as bad as real F1, so I wouldn't worry. We got all of our bases covered. So, Flo, what we'll do is we'll start with the teams and drivers because there's been so many changes. And we'll start at Ferrari. Obviously, you left as team boss, so we'll just talk about that to start with. What was behind the decision to leave Ferrari?
It was actually quite hard to leave, but I've won the championship twice now, so I searched for new stuff around in sim racing. But I'm still connected with the guys there, so I still know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, their loss is my gain because I get to partner you for the whole season commentating with these lovely people. Rob Laurie took over as team boss, I guess, and he's signed Fleming Rondorf. What do you make of that partnership?
Rob over from me. Yeah, Fleming is I haven't seen him a lot as I was driving last year, but in testing he was quite fast. Actually, a bit quicker than Rob, but it's just pre-season, so we don't focus on. Them don't focus on speed that much yet. We just try to figure out the mod and how to set up everything. But I'm quite confident in both guys.
Indeed, yeah, there should be very interesting lineup. So we'll move to the next team, Caterham. We've got a pending license on one of the drivers, but we'll read both of them anyway. We've got Tommy Hagen, and we've got Simon Maltby or something like that. New names I can't pronounce, so it's going to be another fun season on that account as well. What do you take on this team then?
Caterham I think was second or last year in the Constructors Championship, so they obviously know what they're doing. Matt is obviously not there yet, or isn't there for this season. But Tommy wasn't too bad. I think he's quite solid on setup work, so he's has quite good knowledge about setup and stuff. And Simon, no idea. I haven't seen him yet on track, but I think they will be there.
Yeah, indeed. On to Red Bull. Apologies that we're flying right through this, but we've had difficulties and we've only got 45 minutes left. So, Red Bull, we've got Miles Dixon and a lovely new name again, Kevin Mab. We'll just call him Kevin. Sounds good. We know Miles. He's been in the league for a few seasons now. We know what he's capable of, but another new guy on board, Florian. Kevin Mass, I've just been told by the great Matthew. What do you take on Kevin? Have we seen him yet testing?
No, but I have seen the timing screens and I think he's actually quite fast. So could be another German taking on the Brit. And Miles is taking over Red Bull, I think, without attacking them was in some way, but they won't be up there as they were with Alex and Dan, but they still can do quite well, I think. Top 4 maybe or top 3 in the standings should be their aim.
Yeah. So as we watch Lee Miller bolt around the track, in the new McLaren with the new Mobile One sponsor. We'll move on to Sauber. So we've got, oh my god, more big names. Andy and Tom. Yeah, that was nice and easy. In the Sauber. Another pending license, so I'm not sure what's going on with that guy for Andy. But 2 new guys that I've not even seen on the live races, so I can't really comment on. I don't know if you have, Florian.
No, I haven't, but I think in Andy's case it's Rajkowski, and for Tom it's Oklinski, if I'm right.
Look at that.
But
You're going to be the name guy this season.
Yeah, I can try that. Yeah, I haven't seen them either on the live screen, in the testing, the times. So they will be quite unknown going into Melbourne unless they test a lot on the server.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they can take over from Luke and Joe last season. They did well, so yeah, I think they will be in the mix with Red Bull.
Well, as I was just about to move on to Williams, but Lee Miller has binned it in the McLaren and left debris all over the track. This is lovely. We'll move on to Williams. We've got Simon Crane, who we all know and love, and Daniel Hahn. Yeah, I can pronounce the name. Woo! So yeah, the Williams, the new Williams, the best looking car on the grid in my opinion.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, Simon's had a good couple of seasons late. He was third 2 seasons ago, I believe, and
Yes.
he even had a good winter run in the Indy cars. He beat me, so yeah, he's improving a lot as each season goes on. And also Daniel, who is well known around the paddock already, even though he's late joined, and he's showing good form lately.
Yeah, I think he joined at Suzuka last year, replacing Rob, who joined me. But yeah, the Williams is looking good. 2 solid drivers with Simon and Daniel. So, not sure how they look in testing so far, but they should do pretty well, I think, with the Saubers and the, what was it, Caterham and Red Bull. So it's quite a tight battle up there.
Yeah. So yep, on to Toro Rosso. They have Iron Volanu all on his lonesome at the moment, and I'm not even sure he's in the league because he's got a pending license. I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah, Volanu, hard to comment on him because, like, yeah, he does give it some when he's on track, but yeah, he doesn't really commit himself fully to these races, does he?
Yeah, it looks like that. He was actually quite fast at days and at times, but yeah, he needs to commit to this 100%, so it's hard to see where he will end up.
Yeah,
or if he even races.
Yeah. Well, so apparently Ironet's having technical problems with the team at the moment, but we hear in the paddock that if I can just get back to it, Duru Stoica is confirmed for Toro Rosso. So yeah, that would be a pretty good lineup actually if they could get both cars to the grid in Australia.
Yeah, he was racing the last few races as well, I think last season, and he was quite fast at Korea if I remember correct, so if they get everything together, it's gonna be quite action-packed in the midfield.
Yeah. So that moves us on to Marussia, and the good old Ribbons brothers, Dan and Loz. They've been in the league a long time now, always committed. Yeah, a pretty good lineup, what we expected, to be honest, from this one. So I'm looking forward to seeing these guys how they improve through the season with the new rules and regulations.
Yeah, I think so as well. Daniel Loss, pretty solid drivers and consistent, reliable. Yeah, Danny is quite fast as well, I think, in season 9, when we had these custom teams. He was always doing quite well. I think they can take the fight to the other teams we just had before.
Yeah, indeed. So that moves us on to the good old McLaren and the ever faithful Lee Miller, who has been in the league since season 2. When he bought his new wheel on his debut in Spa and binned it in a Rouge on his first lap. He is still going in this league, and he's signed Harley Hamnet for his teammate this season. Not that I've seen Harley around for testing that much so far, but I'm sure he'll be there in Australia giving it everything. But yep, two impressive guys there. Lee, pretty much one of the most consistent people for turning up in the league. Hopefully he can have a good season.
Yeah, Lee is always around. I think he's always finishing, very consistent. I think he just needs some help on the setups, and then he can have a good season. And Harley as well as a quick driver. I had talks with him in the off season as well. It just shows how much he was wanted, I think, and if he actually shows up, which we hope, at Melbourne for McLaren, they can, I think, fight for the podium.
Yeah. I think Lee, if he can just get some luck his way. I mean, I was his teammate when we were in Brawn, and like when I was there, like I had a different testing schedule to what he was used to, and when he was testing with me, every time he improved this time, he'd leave the server, which I didn't like. If you improved on your time, I always thought, no, you should stay on and prove you can do that time again. And he got into that rhythm and improved a lot that season. So hopefully he can do that this season and just prove what he can do, really. We're lucky enough to have the team boss of McLaren with us right now, so welcome, Lee.
It's a pleasure to be here, Dave.
How is pre-season going for you so far?
Well, I've only had myself on track, so basically doing most of the work myself is a bit tricky.
Yeah.
But hopefully Harley will be in soon, so hopefully we get that sorted for Australia. But otherwise, things are going okay, I believe.
Good. And what are your takes on this new mod?
It's great. I really like it. I think what Matt has done is really good. I think it's much more drivable than previous seasons, and all thumbs up at the moment.
Good to hear. Where are you looking pace-wise? Aiming mid-pack again, or do you plan to knock Luke off his perch and Alex, and get a few wins?
Me winning the first race of the season, that'd be a dream come true.
Make the dream happen.
Yeah. As for where I am, I'm not at the back, but I would say around mid-pack. I think to score points in the first race would be a good start, and then see what happens from there. But like I said, I don't know what kind of pace Harley's setting at the moment, because he hasn't really been able to test. So we'll see where we are when he's on track.
Indeed, yeah. Do you have you been in contact with Harley? Is he around?
Yeah, he had internet problems, so hopefully he's back up to speed now and got everything sorted.
Okie doke. So yeah, Flo, do you have any questions for Lee? Put on the spot.
Actually, if he plans to get on the podium this year, which we all hope to see.
Now you're joking, aren't you, Flo?
Never.
I can dream. You never know. Like if things go right, it could happen. But with Alex and Luke and Joe and Dan, which will probably be your pace setters, I'm not sure. Maybe Monaco be my best chance.
Remember Budapest, Lee, you led a lap.
I led a lap. You can't take that away from me.
If anyone deserves it, Lee, it's you, mate. Out all the committed drivers, you are on top. You beat everyone by a mile. So we wish you the best of luck for the season. And
thanks, mate.
You go get those podiums, mate.
Do I get a medal for that?
Ask Matt. Yeah.
I will do in a minute.
Bye, what
guys.
He's like.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. So yeah, that is Lee Miller, team boss of McLaren. So that'll move us on to Force India, Flo.
Yeah, at Force India it's Arjan again, moving to the next team. And what is the other guy? It's Uros Yelenko, if I'm right. So, you shall correct me if I'm wrong.
So I'm not correcting you on anything.
Yeah, I think Arjan's always quick, but very unreliable, and way too often crashes. In a good position like last year in Spa, he was faster than me actually and could have made challenged Alex, but somewhere lost it and crashed. So he needs to work on his consistency and improve on that. Otherwise, it's the next season with, I don't know, 15 DNFs or so.
Yeah, I think we've seen like Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, you know, with Arjan. He can, when he's on it, he can perform and he can rip the. I was going to say a swear word then, but he can, you know, push that car around like nobody else. But like when he's on an off day, you can. It really shows. You know, he doesn't perform well at all. So hopefully he can get his head down this season and you know, show us what he's really made of.
Yeah, he has to. This guy has deserved the podium lots of times and hasn't done it yet, so it's quite ridiculous.
Yeah. So that will move us on to Mercedes, one of the best looking cars on the grid, as in, you know, the nose, not with the colour scheme that goes to Williams. So we are lucky enough again to have Daniel Lovett, team boss of Mercedes, with us. Hello, Dan.
Hi. Not team boss though, no more. It's Alex.
Oh, that's a bit risky, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, pre-season is almost finished, man, and Australia is coming up fast. How is the pre-season going so far?
Yeah, it's been great actually. Probably one of my best. Purely just because I'm really hungry now. I know I've been here many times before and said it, but I think I'm more excited about this season than I've been for a long time. So I just want to get to Australia now.
Have you got a new headset? You just sound so chilled and deep.
I'm just relaxed, you know. I'm just enjoying it this time. I don't know. I don't know what's changed in me, but I'm just enjoying racing again, getting back in my groove.
Good, that's what we want to hear. Yeah, so teammate again with Alex Cooper. You know, you don't have the smoothest relationship when it comes to racing with Alex. You know, you've had your ups and downs. So why, again, do you decide to partner Alex?
Well, obviously, at the end of last season, I pretty much had gone and I was replaced. So Alex then decided to move to Mercedes, and I was still at Red Bull. I was still umming and ahhing about racing, and I thought actually I just started missing racing again, just missing the testing, missing missing the banter between everyone on the track. And then got talking to Alex at the last minute. I says, look, I'm interested, and he was cautious about it, obviously, because he wants to win a title, be it whether it's a drive. He wants the drivers, obviously, but he wants to win the constructors as well, as does everyone.
Yeah.
He's pretty serious about it this season, and we spoke. Got a free race deal. So I got myself a free race deal. Got something to prove for the first few races.
Is that genuine?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That's in my contracts. If you'd like to ask Matt, I can announce that now to the world. I've got a bit of pressure on my shoulders, but that's something I wanted. So see what happens.
What?
It's just a no-brainer to go with Alex. Really, he's the quickest here. So, or one of the quickest here.
Yeah. Well, I hope you prove Alex wrong and get a permanent contract.
That actually brings me to my question. Then, you're here for a very long time, actually since the start, I think.
Yeah.
You're always fast. If you got everything, under.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're just spot on with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you need to fight for the championship actually with Alex as teammate. It's gonna be a lot of pressure and stuff, but you actually need to fight for the title this year. I think you are very quick and you should go for it, I think.
Aim high, yeah.
Always.
I'm feeling quick this year. A little bit slower than Alex, but I'm learning a bit more the last week in terms of setup wise. Anyway, well, me and Alex both have. So I'm hoping that will improve me. I'm just going to be consistent, aim for podiums. You never know. I'd like to think that I would be in contention, but see what happens.
What is your goal for Australia? Obviously, you don't know much from testing with everyone doing different fuel loads, but if Australia
Podium.
was right now, is that what you reckon? Podium, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I'm going in already. That's my aim. Want to have a solid race, no accidents, no silly mistakes, and get on the podium.
That's awesome. Hopefully the other two crash and then you get that win, yeah?
You never know. They might take it to route. That's what I'm hoping.
Win by default. So yeah. Again, as I said to Lee, being in the league for so long, like Lee has, you just want to see the luck come your way. You've not had much luck at all in your R-Factor career in OGL.
Yeah, I've not helped myself a lot with lack of testing or lack of effort the last 2-3 seasons, but I think that's changed this year because I missed it. I think I may have needed a break. I don't know, just took a step back, which is what I did. So yeah, I've never been as hungry as I am now. I just can't wait for next week. I can't wait for tomorrow because then we can start testing.
Well, yeah. Best of luck to you, mate.
Thank you.
You've got a solid team around you, so all the foundations are there for you to build on and have a successful season.
Yep.
So, from me and Flo, best of luck to you.
Yeah, good luck to both of you
Yes,
for
indeed.
the commentary
Best
as well.
of luck.
Thank you very much.
See you later, guys.
So that will move us nicely onto Lotus. And again, we are so lucky tonight. We have Luke Zilch with us. Hello, Luke.
Oh, hello, Dave.
You're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All good.
I
Yeah.
can always hear you scream my name, my surname, but I just think I got used to it now.
Are we pronouncing it wrong?
We start with Luke Sauber from Matt, then you call me Luke, so I don't really care anymore. But
Fair enough.
how many names this guy's got, isn't it? It sounds like a Mexican name with a postcode and address in there.
Okay, so Luke, hello. Welcome to the commentary booth, and I've been fascinated by your time so far in pre-season. You have been at the top in nearly every single. Well, I think you have been top every single session so far.
No, I think Alex always got me a bit of edge, but there's plenty things that we work with Joe and plenty to extract still.
You're aiming high. So yeah, it's your second season in OGL, your second season with Joe as your teammate. You obviously feel a connection there. So how do you feel this season is going to go for you?
We ain't got any targets, to be honest. We're looking pretty strong probably for constructors. The title battle for the drivers, who knows? I don't want to set myself a target because we also have a silly pressure.
Yeah, indeed. So we're looking at last season. Obviously you were new, so I won't try to offend you too much, but there were races where you were blindingly quick, but there was the odd mistake here and there. With you had a couple of spins and stuff like this. Do you think you've ironed out those mistakes now and you're ready to push for these more than 3-4 wins a season?
I think it's possible. I've looked at where I've been making mistakes. The mod is absolutely great. It suits me very, very well.
Yeah.
Joe been working very hard on the setup. He's done quite a bit of work already. But again, it's 16 or 17 races you want to aim for, and
right.
It's gonna be. It's not just that people think there's only two winners with me and Alex, but we said that Kevin Matt's been joining the server. He looks mighty quick.
Yeah.
It should be a very, very interesting season. And the mod looks brilliant. The models me and Matt brought in. I think it was really worth it. He's done a bit of heavy work on these models. They look pretty tidy though.
Yeah, they do look fantastic. So yeah, Flo, do you have any questions for Luke?
Yeah, nothing special, but actually looking ahead in the season, what do you think are the tracks that you're gonna be perform best, or which tracks do you like the most?
It's always been a Spa sort of a highlight for me. I think
Yeah.
you pretty much remember the Spa flow of me and battling with you and Alex. I think I've always found very special with driving against Prion and Rouge. I think that's one of those tracks you really wanna be there doing and win it.
Yeah.
Monaco, I've never been good in there, but winning Monaco I think is a bit of
It's
good
the one
fun.
you've got to win at some point, isn't it?
It's this league I think is so much fun. People always turn around. There's every night people on TeamSpeak. They play even in the different games throughout the week. What more do you need, innit?
Exactly. Yeah. As your teammate just destroys the front wing on that Sister Lotus.
Oh, trust me, it's not only wings
he's
he's
gone
destroying.
But yeah, Spa. I have to agree with you. Spa and Monaco, definitely the highlights of the season. You have to just push 100% for. So yeah.
I am looking forward to this season. With all these features being added by Matt, the models, the way the car's behaving with no traction control, it looks pretty tasty.
Yeah. Well, you do look blindingly quick, mate. As I said before, and from myself and Flo, we wish you guys the best of luck this season.
Oh, thanks a lot. I wish everyone to watch. All these races. I think it will be quite tight battle. If not for the first, there'll be definitely all the way up to 6th, 7th place. It'll be wheel to wheel.
Awesome, that's what we want to see. Thank you for joining us, Luke. We'll just watch you go around the track in a sec, hopefully, and don't crash.
Don't spin, innit? That's
Yeah.
my signature from back in the day. So. Cheers,
Thanks
guys.
for that, mate. Bye.
Yeah, one thing we should actually mention is that the Lotus team won't be as slow as the real one.
Yeah, let's hope so. They do more than one lap in practice would be quite a bonus. So that leaves us with 2 teams left, which is HRT, who haven't got any drivers, so that's nice and easy. They ain't going to do good. And then Arrows. Max Kane is the only official driver at the moment. I'm sure I've seen Arrows in the server a second ago. Nope. But yeah, Max Kane. Is that an Arrows? Is that an Arrows? Is that his team? It does look like it. Yeah, Max Kane took a year out of racing last year, obviously, without myself with commentary. But as a driver, he is a fully committed driver and he's quick on his day. So yeah, I hope he does well.
Yes, indeed. I think he's in the lead quite long as well. Yeah, he just needs to stack a minute every race, and then he's gonna do well. I think top 10 each race should be his goal. That's quite realistic, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, I love the Arrows car, especially the 2000-2001 models. So hopefully we can. It does look like that season, looking on that view. But apparently he's just testing the car out. He's not an official driver. So yeah, let's have another look. Oh, that's it for the drivers. So that will be an awesome time to bring in League Extraordinaire Matt Lewin. I ain't saying your second name.
I
either.
knew you were going to say my name wrong. I was thinking, don't say my last name, but you did.
Matt with an L.
Leonovich.
That's what I said. Give me a break. But yeah, Matt,
What up?
many congratulations on getting this season together and bringing in the new models at such late notice as well. I've spoken to a lot of drivers over the last week about, what they expect, how they feel about the cars and the models, how it feels, and I've not seen one negative comment, so you must feel good about that.
Yeah, good job, because I worked bloody hard on them. No, it's great to get the 2040 models. It's good to have a partnership with F1AL, who are the ones that made the models, and they're going to be continuing doing updates with them throughout the season. So hopefully we get them to just be improving. So at the minute they look good, but there's a few errors here and there. I don't know if there's a Caterham out there. There's a few errors with the nose on that. and things
Right.
like that. But they did a really good job, and hopefully it's just going to improve.
Yeah. So I don't know if you were listening, but me and Flo just went over the teams and drivers.
I was listening intently.
Good. That's what we like to hear. I've noticed a lot of things about licenses and stuff on there. So obviously an updated system for us. Could you explain your process of this license?
Yeah, well, super licenses is basically what it is you have to obtain a license to race. It might sound a bit daunting, but it really isn't. All you got to do is go on the server and test. And if you seem consistent enough, then you're allowed to race. And also you have to also read and agree the rules. So that's why a few people are still pending on their super licenses because they haven't read the rules yet. So yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. If you're new, you go on the server, test, and if we think you're good enough, you get permitted to race. So if you don't have that super license, you're not allowed to race. That's it really. So it's just nice and simple. Just because we had a few issues last year, people like turning up the day of the race without testing, and I had to tell them that you're too slow, you can't race.
Yeah.
So now we have this system in place, so they have to obtain the license to be able to race.
Sounds fair
And
to me.
that's all it is really. And also with that, we bring in super license points, like in Real F1 this year. You get 12 points. So it's basically like our reprimand system last year. You get up to 1 to 3 points depending on the severity of your incident, or you could get like a penalty after the race, anything like that. So it just opens up different things because people complained last year that they got reprimands for like crossing the pit exit line or taking someone out, if you know what I mean. So these new points just give us a bit more leeway of the severity of incidents, which is good.
That's good. Hopefully it'll make drivers think about their actions before taking them as well. So yeah, looking back at the teams and drivers list, what driver lineup stands out for you?
Well, straight away, Luke and Joe. I think they're going to be very quick. And also Alex and Dan. You can't deny Alex anything. I think this could be his year. He's always been the number 2, the runner-up in the championship. So you never know, he could go one better this year. Other than that, there's still quite a few strong drivers down on this, like Simon Crane. He's been improving a lot over the winter. You can't really rule out Ferrari because Ferrari's always done well in OGL. So, you know, but there's still a few teams with open spaces like HRT. So we've still got a few spaces for people who want to sign up if anyone's there who hasn't signed up yet. So yeah, it's still, and also we've got loads of reserve lists and things like that. So you know, it's going to be good. I expect a good strong turnout for next week in 7 days. Can't believe it's come so quickly.
Yeah,
but yeah, I expect a few people will surprise as well, like new drivers like Kevin Mass look very strong, and things like that. People looking consistent as well. So hopefully we'll have a good race.
Indeed, yeah. So let's just go through a few of these rules and take note and explain your reasons for some of them. We've got no traction control, which I think is the first.
Well, the whole reason behind this was purely because the physics I had, the physics to go in this mod, it was actually on, you know, I don't know if you've seen it on RPAT Central. There was the guy that made complete F1 physics. We took them because I had a quick go and they were great. The only problem is they thought they were a bit too grippy. So instead of trying to edit the actual physics, because we all know what happened in previous seasons when I tried to edit physics, I decided to remove traction control. Traction control. Yeah, traction control completely. Get rid of it. So it just gives the cars a bit more like hard to get in the corners, and the rear end tries to snap. It just makes it feel a bit more like F1 basically.
Yeah.
And I think if we had traction on low or medium, you could probably drive around with one hand while eating a sandwich and still finish the race. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Because that was basically the main idea, was that the physics were a little bit too strong.
Yeah.
And so I decided to put traction off completely. We still got ABS on low because they lock up quite easily.
Right.
But yeah, traction control's completely gone for the first time ever, I think. I've done that.
Yeah. Yeah, so just thinking back then, I can't remember doing a season on OGL without traction on. But yeah, it's good. It gets the drivers working more, and we get to see the proper talent from these guys coming through. So yeah, that moves on. I've noticed we've got scripted weather.
Well, it was a bit different. Last year we had scripted weather, but it was basically me going through old F1 races and picking weather. But this year we're going with scripted from real life. So what I'm going to do is, there's a website called AccuWeather.com. I'm sure people have heard of this before because it's been used in other leagues. You get wherever the place is, and it generates a script for you for whatever time or day you pick. So what I'll be doing, I'll be publishing the time and date on the website that where the scripts are going to be generated from, so people can get their idea reading forecasts of what the weather's going to be, and it takes it out of my control.
Yeah.
So basically we're in the hands of the real weather basically, which will be very interesting because I think this year the mod will be quite good with wet and intermediate tyres because they've been built with RFE. So
Ooh,
I'm hoping.
I heard intermediates.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Ah.
that was a new. We took them out at the start of the season, but when we did testing at Silverstone, the wet tyres weren't good enough, so we added the intermediates back in as well.
Lovely, more choices.
That just adds more like strategicness of the racing.
Indeed.
That's a real word.
Okay, Matt. Actually, I got a question about qualifying and race. In specific, for qualifying, we now have 9 laps for each driver, which are 3 runs, unless they do more laps and less runs.
Yeah.
In a 20-minute time limit. It's
Yes.
basically what we had last year, just with limited laps.
Yeah, I think it'll just give people, rather than just spamming laps over and over, just give people more of a feeling to try and actually nail that lap. And if they mess up, we could have just a crazy grid. Like if it rains and they try to hold off, you know what I mean? So it just gives more variety. I was considering trying to bring back one-shot qualifying that we did one season, but it was just too much work and I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, and I made mistakes, so leave that
So
out.
9 laps gives people less chance to do well, basically. So hopefully we can see a few more mixed up grids.
Yeah,
Sounds interesting.
and another thing actually is that we got the pod firming now, which means that the setup from qualifying will be nearly the same as in the race. Then just maybe a front wing adjustment or tire pressures.
Yeah, I think I'm still need to finalise the settings, which I'll put on this week. But I'm deciding at the minute we're going to only be able to change fuel, tyres, steering lock, and maybe just front wing. So all the gear ratios, all your radiators, everything will be completely locked, which again will give a variety of people just going full race. So you never. So it stops. It helps people in a way to not have to make so many setups. So hopefully it will close the grid down a little bit more because we want to see that close racing that maybe sim races last year we missed. But that was the whole thing behind it.
Actually, I think Monaco it would be quite interesting if some go for qualifying setup to be up front, and then the race struggle. So could work
Yeah, that's the
quite
thing.
well.
Like they could go with like a low radiator setup and then risk having engine problems during the race, or quite low wings but with heavy fuel they're going to struggle. So it'll be interesting to see what people go for, and hopefully it will again produce more results.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting to see what strategies people go with. Could we see a Lee Miller pole?
Hopefully, you never know. Oh, one thing I want to mention with qualifying, you still have to qualify on the tyre set that you set your fastest lap on.
Yeah.
So you might be able to change tyres, but that's just to stop it from forcing you on that tyre the whole race. So you still have to qualify on the tyre that you still have to race on the tyre you qualified on.
Yeah.
But you can change it, so you'll be able to change it during the race. So I'll be watching that with the RFE plugin. Make sure everyone's on the right tyre and making sure that they do that right. There's zero tolerance for that this year. People got away with it last year because I might have missed it, but I've got a new system to be able to check everyone this year. So if anyone starts in the wrong tyre or anything like that, they either get time penalties or penalty points.
Watch out, people. Matt is after you. So that moves me on to another thing that's come from Real F1. We get to choose our driver numbers, our car numbers.
Yeah, again, it's just a nice little feature, isn't it? It's just nice to see. There's nothing really to gain or lose from that. I just thought it would be a nice little thing new to add to the league. That's it in a nutshell, really.
Yeah. So short and sweet, mate. That's what we like.
Yeah.
Point system stays the same, I guess.
Apart from this season, you don't get a point for finishing the race. It's only top 10 now, because last year you got 1 point for drivers only. But there's a new system I'm doing to save points this year, and to do it, I had to get rid of that setting.
Yeah.
But I thought it was quite good last year. But I think now people need to be fighting for those 10 places. People were settling for a single point last year, and that's not what racing should be. You should be having to fight for every single position you have. So I think getting rid of that, it's just something different, like changing it back to the way it was. And we still got the old point system, well, our point system, which is 15 points for a win, 12 for second, 10 for third, and so on, down to 10, which is 1 point. Again, that just closes it up a bit because I think the F1 points is just a little bit too far apart. So yeah, so we're keeping the lower points, but gives the championship a little bit closer, as we saw last year.
Yeah. So, am I right in saying that good old Matt is going to be staying as a safety car driver this year?
Yep, I'll be still doing safety car and race control.
Cool. And isn't any new commands from race control, or is it all still the same as last year?
It's all pretty much the same. So there's no DRS or KERS this year. So we're just gonna have just normal safety car as it was last year. There's a few new things with the safety car to do with the weather. So I put in the rules. I don't know if you're going to mention this, but I'll say it anyway. If the rain at the start of the race is greater than 70%, the race will start under the safety car.
Right.
And if the rain downpour reaches 100% during the race, the safety car will be deployed until the rain calms down.
Okie doke.
So that's new. So we'd never know we could finish a race like 20 laps under the safety car. The race will never be red flagged. It'll just be safety card.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you'd be able to red flag it.
So so just looking at the calendar, I've noticed that it's shortened to 16 rounds this season.
Yeah, that was mainly because people seem to be getting less interested by the end of the season. So I think just shortening it, and we've done it so it ends before F1 ends, because I want to do a winter series again at the end of the year, because our IndyCar was quite successful.
Yeah.
So I want to do something else. Not sure what we'll be doing yet, so stay tuned for that. So that was mainly the reason. 16 races, just a nice number. We did that a few seasons ago and it seemed to work. So yeah, that's the reason why we had to lose a few races. Unfortunately, some of the races that I wish we could have had in there, like Abu Dhabi and things like that. But to have new races, like we've got Turkey back, and we got Red Bull Ring, A1 Ring for people who don't know what that is. So yeah, we had to lose a few to gain a few. So they'll be in the future, and hopefully we'll do a few more new races and stuff like that next year.
Matt, I actually got another question about the race itself, or the strategy the guys gonna use. 200 liters is the maximum fuel for the season. Obviously you can run less.
Yeah.
But at the end of the race you still gotta have 1 liter. So
yeah, you have to have at least 1 liter left to get back.
So,
and you have to get
yeah.
back to the pit lane. And but the thing is, if you don't do that, it's not going to be a major problem, because things happen. All you'd get is a penalty point on your license. So can run that 1 liter and you'll get a penalty point. But if you do that for like 12 races, you'll get a race ban. So it's got like disadvantages and advantages. If you have that issue, it's not a huge problem. But I would like people to. It's just an extra thing. Like they do that in F1 again this year. You have to get to the round back into the pits, and the same for qualifying. Last year, I was quite lenient, and once you finish your lap, you could quit, but couldn't go back out again. Now you have to go back to the pit lane. If you quit and say, "Oh, I'm not going back out again," you still lose that lap time. So you have to go back to the pits at all time.
Interesting. So what about if someone crashes?
I'll have to see if they did it on purpose or not.
Right.
If it's at the end of the session and they crash on purpose, then
yeah. Cool.
Didn't think about that until now.
I'm sorry for putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, your thoughts on the season then, as we've gone through most of our stuff and we are running out of time. How do you think it's going to go?
I just hope for a good show. I hope for a nice turnout, and I have a good. Yeah, it's a good show overall. I want the championship to be close, as always. I don't care who wins. I don't care who wins the races, as long as it's a close fight. So at the end of the day, I'm not really that bothered what the outcome is. Just as long as it looks good on TV.
That's all. Simon stops spinning, then it should be alright.
That's the whole reason why I've done all this, is to make all the changes, all the physics, to make them a bit easier, just to get just the spectacle, as it were, to look good.
Yeah.
So let's hope it works as it were, and get drivers to stay. That's the one problem we have. People go off, but hopefully with all this new stuff, people will stay to the end.
Just a quick question: what is your favourite looking car on the grid? Please say Williams.
What in the actual mod?
The livery, and then the best looking, as in the ugly nose.
I have to say the best livery is Arrows and McLaren because I made them.
Ah, alright.
Oh, of course, the Williams does look good, but I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of that white. I just think it's a bit too bright, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I quite like the Mercedes' shine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best looking car. I have to say Mercedes just for the nose, I think, as well.
Yeah. Thank God they didn't go with the banana at the front,
Yeah.
because that is just. I think I would have just retired again. So. Yeah, Matt, congratulations on all your hard work over the winter, getting this mod ready for all of our lovely drivers to be racing in just a week's time.
Yeah, 1 week, and we still, as I say, we still have a few seats left. The main ones are full, but we still have seats in HRT. They're back this season, and we
Matt,
still have.
tell them where they have to go to get that seat.
Well, if you go to www.OGLSimRacing.com, hit sign up, post on the forum saying you're interested in driving, I will probably be around some point in the day and I'll move to the drivers area and you can get on the server and test. And if you want to race, I'm sure the free seats can be yours. HRT hasn't got a team boss yet, so anybody can take that. That's all up for grabs. And so there's two main seats, or 2 seats, which is, like I say, 2 HRTs and Arrows. There's another seat left in that. So there's only 3 seats left. If you want to get involved, you're running out of time. And so there's 1 week left as well. So 1 week till the race. It's plenty of time to test this mod. So come on, guys, get on it.
Yeah, Matt, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Dave and Florian.
Again, well done on all your hard work, and I'm very much looking forward to Australia and seeing it all pan out for the first time.
Me too.
Me too. So as we wait for hopefully a few more guys doing interviews, Flo, what has been your thoughts on pre-season? Who has stood out the most for you?
I think it's the usual suspects, Alex, Luke, Dan, and Joe, and maybe my Ferrari boys. Yeah, I think it's gonna be them battling it out come Melbourne and the rest of the season.
Yeah. Oh, we've just got a driver pop into our studio. Hello, Simon.
Hello.
Hello. I must say, mate, your car is beautiful. Does it drive beautiful?
Bit tail happy, but yes, good car.
So yeah, how's pre-season gone so far, mate?
Pretty good. I think last test probably shown where I could probably get in the race. The 2 tests before hasn't really been as good as I hoped, but in this test shown that could be fine for top 6 positions.
Yeah. Is that your aim for the season, top 6, or do you reckon you could snatch a podium here and there?
A podium would be nice, but if that be possible with I know got Kevin Masters pretty fast. Joe also looks pretty quick this season.
Yeah.
That might be a bit of a struggle, but I think top 6 is possible.
That would be nice to see. Hopefully you can repeat the season when I was there and you got 3rd. That would be pretty cool, as your washing machine is buzzing around in the background.
That's not mine.
Well, it ain't mine.
Probably my turbo.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, what are your thoughts on the new season? Who do you see being the top guys?
It'll probably be out of Alex and Luke. But then, yeah, I also said about Joe as well, he's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Also, Dan's kind of picks up the pace as well, so he'll be over them 4.
Simon, I actually got a question about the mod itself and how it drives, and what changes you think are being done to the mod since last season. What's the main difference in driving and setting up the car?
It's definitely not easy to set up a car than last season. Last season, a lot of people have struggled setting it up because a lot of people didn't agree it was the best
Well,
car
it was
to drive.
weird actually.
Yeah, I mean this season's. I mean, anyone could drive it if they without the proper setup. I mean, it's probably the most fun car I've driven on in OGL so far.
Okay, so sorry, Flo. Yeah. So pre-season's over now, and you've got 1 week to Australia What's the target for that race? Just again a top 6? Or
Yeah, top 6 probably.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully should be able to get top 8. I know Daniel's testing a lot more now, so we should be able to get both cars in the top 8 at least.
Cool. Well, from the both of us, best of luck to you and your team for this season. I hope it goes well for you.
Thank you.
And now, on to the man with the best voice in OGL, Joe Moore. Hello, Joe.
How you doing, Dave?
Oh, hear that. That's just perfection. How are you, mate?
I'm good, very good. It's good to be back testing again this season. Cars are excellent. They look superb. And they're great fun to drive as well.
You actually sound like you're up for this. You sound full of life, mate. Is that how it's going? You like?
Yeah, well, sorry. I think last year with myself and Luke joining, we were just getting a feel for things, and we kind of picked it up quickly, but we still were a bit naive to a lot of the setups and the whole lot. But I think this year we will definitely be up for the challenge. Luke and Alex, you can see, are just way ahead of the field, and they will be. You don't change a quick driver, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not that quick. I'm just there just to try to get as fast as I can, but I can't match these guys. They just have a different technique of driving, different feel for the car. No matter what mod they're put in, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm up for the challenge, and I'm going to try to support, Luke good, and hopefully have Lotus at the end of the year, topping the constructors.
Yeah, speaking of Lotus, how are you and Luke getting on with pre-season so far? You've got 1 week to go to Australia. Are you guys ready to lock out the front row and dominate the race like Mercedes, or?
To be honest, I don't think. Again, I'll go back. I just think it's going to be between Luke and Alex. They're just a step ahead, If I can get in, 4 or 5 hundredths of the qualifying time, and hopefully I can work on race pace a bit better this year than last year. Maybe we can give. I can give them a challenge,
Yeah.
Joe, actually one question that pops into my mind right now is, you think the Lotus is going to be as far at the back at the rear as the rear one, or you think we're going to be further in front?
Well, it depends if I have a party the night before the race. But no, I know a lot of people have been complaining about these ugly noses and all that. I think it's great having 10 or 12 different looking cars, and they're not all clones of one car, so I'm really happy with the way that they look. I think the Lotus, of all the cars there, I just think looks stunning. It's different, and I'm glad to be part of it. I'm glad we chose Lotus and we were able to get it thanks to the organisers.
I could sit and listen to this voice all day, but sadly I have to say goodbye.
No problem.
Yeah, Luke, nice talking to you. Nice to catch up. Sorry, Joe. I get you
No,
mixed
it's no
up.
problem. You called me Luke last year too.
Yeah, that's just what I do. Yeah, best of luck to you in Australia, mate, and hopefully I'll be speaking to you from the top step of the podium.
Okay, cheers, guys. Keep the good work up.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, Flo.
And that brings us to our last interviewer today of Fleming Rondorf, the Ferrari driver for this season. How are you doing?
Well, right now I'm pretty fine. Thank you. How are you?
I am pretty high at the moment, yeah. So
You're high?
I'm not high. High on F1, mate. High on F1.
I just broke my own lap time today, so I'm pretty happy right now.
Awesome. Yeah, speaking of lap times, how's pre-season going?
How is what?
Pre-season going. How's testing going?
Well, so far it's been hard work because, when we thought we found what we were looking for, you changed the setup, and that sort of changed our setup. So I feel that been brought back to scratch last week, but we're getting there. We're not giving up without a fight. That's for sure.
Good to hear, mate. I believe Flo has a question for you.
Do I? Yeah, well, actually, it's a bit of pressure going to Ferrari now this season. Replacing
Very
me,
much
but,
so, yeah.
yeah, what do you think you can do this season with Rob? actually go for the
Well-
top, or a bit of lower expectations?
Well, I have this approach to it. Last season I was all alone, and I didn't get nowhere. You know, I was working on the setups, and I was working on trying to make the car work for me, and I didn't really succeed. And in the end, I sort of gave up on it and said, okay, if I'm going to fight this season alone, mostly. Well, I had a couple of mates along the way, but I sort of gave up at it, and when I decided to do this season, I just wanted a teammate. That was the most important thing, and I had no expectations, or I have in my wildest dreams actually thought that I could be driving the Scarlet Ferraris this season, and I'm very proud of it because I've been a Ferrari fan since I was a little boy. And right now I'm just in awe, actually, and I'm working my ass off just to try to follow these guys, and their speed is crazy. And I thought I was a good race driver, but well, I have progress all the time, and I haven't given up, and I haven't definitely not given up on Luke and Flo yet. Luke and Alex yet, but they are a little bit. Alien, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
So I'm trying, and so far I just well, my first goal is to make it after the first 3 races, because Rob told me that, well, we will evaluate you when the 3 races are gone, and that's my first goal, is to make it past that point, and I expect hard work. And I have done so far.
Really,
it is, I feel it, and I want, you know, as the champion is still around and looking in from the dismal fog, watching me and seeing what I'm doing, I feel an obligation to make him see that I understand that it's a big thing to be a driver for Ferrari, no matter where you are.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got exactly 1 week until the season starts. So, do you have an expectation for that race, or are you just gonna take your time and see how it pans out?
Well, I know the Americans have a saying that's called gung ho. It means that I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna, I'm an old man. I'm very patient and very persistent. I'm a slow learner, but I'm persistent, and I'm very stubborn. And I'm gonna do the best I possibly can. My as far as I can see with the preseason lap times and what we've been doing on different tracks, I can expect to be fighting as it is now to be best of the rest. You know, Alex and Luke excluded. That's where that's where I am right now in my own little imagination. But I would like to try to catch those guys. I'm not going to let them go away with things.
That is what we want to hear. Don't let them get away.
Indeed, mate. That's what we want to hear.
I'm not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure. And I think I've already shown that. I'm probably the most working driver right now.
Yeah.
I have been a lot alone on the server, that's for sure. And on the server, you can't even see how many laps I've done offline. I have done a lot of laps.
Well, let's hope those laps play into points, and big points at that. Thank you very much for joining us. Just one more thing. As you probably guessed, I'm the worst person at pronouncing names. So, how do you pronounce your name? Give us the correct pronunciation.
Well, it's actually a little hard because in my real name, I have had to make English pronunciation possible translation of my last name, because the real name is German.
All right.
Because my mother was German, and the real name is Runsdorf with a German and that's why I have, that's a pretty difficult one. So I thought I would what do you call it? Anglify it.
Anglify it. That's a good word.
And besides, my real first name is 2 M's in it. If it's real, it's a very Danish name.
Right. That's good. That's good to know. Now we know that Flo would probably be better at pronouncing that one than me.
Well, everybody, ever since I was a little kid, has called me Flip because I've always been a musician, and ever since I was a little kid, I've had long hair. Since I was like 13 or 14, I had long hair, and I had that till like I was 40. So I have been long-haired all my life, most of my life. And everybody called me Flip because in Danish that means freak and a flipper from the late 60s. Flower power shit. Yeah. That's what it means in Danish, and that's why everybody called me that. So.
Nice. Well, Flip, we wish you the best of luck for the season and for the race next week. And go out there and show them what you're made of.
Thank you very much, and you can be sure that I will. I will try my very best.
Good. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh, wow! That was an hour gone very quickly, guys. And let's have one last word from Matt before we sign off.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Word.
Let's have a word. Just even if it's cat. What word do you like? Nah. Yeah. So 1 week to go, Matt. You know, what? I don't know. Just give us something. What do you expect next week?
Well, I expect there to be a race. I think that was going to happen.
Good. Perfect start. There's going to be a race.
I just hope people just turn up and enjoy it. That's the main thing. I set up this league. Oh, I didn't set it up, but I continue to run this league and pay for stuff just to let people enjoy themselves. And if they're having fun, then that's all that I want. I know people like to do well and things like that, but I know people are there just to be out on track and enjoy themselves. And so if people enjoy themselves, that's all that matters. And I hope that we're gonna have a good season. Hope so.
Let's keep our fingers crossed for that. Matt, thank you once more for joining us, and
Thank you
good
very
luck
much.
next week in the role of your safety car and race control. I know it's not an easy role because people just go, he did this, he did that, but you seem to keep your cool all season. So good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
So, as pre-season testing comes to an end, which it did 10 minutes ago, but we're still rolling, Luke has grabbed first off Daniel Lovett, who did look quick in the Mercedes, but Luke just thought, nah, you're not having that. He's out there, popped it into the 111s, and he actually looks pretty stable under that car as well. So, yeah, Flo, let's have a few words from the German master.
I think everything is pretty much said in this hour of preseason preview. Not really sure what to say, but I think it's going to be very exciting, as usual here at OGL. Lots of drama and action, of course. I'm just very excited ahead of the season.
Indeed. I guess what we're trying to say, guys, is words need to stop. We have 1 week to go until the Australian Grand Prix. So get your butts over to the league and sign up if you haven't already. Matt's already explained where you need to go. And 1 week to go. We will see you in Australia for round 1.
Oh yeah, and one thing we should actually mention is that we will have a new champion this year.
Indeed we will. Yes. As myself and Flo are not going to be there for the first time in many, many seasons. So who will take that? Will it be Alex? Will it be Luke? Or will there be a surprise in the paddock? Will Dan get there? Will Lee Miller get a first podium? Who knows? But we will find out next week, guys. So thank you for joining us. And we will see you soon.
Thank you. Good night.